just want to share something the candidates were talking about the other day, and I'm going to just throw it out there. If you can help us, great. In the debates and forums that we've had up to date, which has not been a lot, we pretty much have not been discussing the progressive issues that are around the valley. And there's LGBT groups, women's groups, Black Lives Matter, Raw, all these groups, that their issues are not being discussed in the debates that I'm doing. And we talk about that. Here's all those issues that have been driving us for the last year or so. There's groups locally that are working on those issues, and there should be public discussions about those issues driven by the groups. But there's this big wall in between. Part of it's COVID, understand that. But part of it too is, groups that are scared about being partisan and showing favoritism and that sort of thing. Now, I have talked with several of these groups, and some of them have done surveys. Here's my Ross Perot flip chart. The Secretary of State said these groups, no matter what they're working on, can totally do a discussion for the candidates. They just have to invite both candidates. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not going to get hammered for being nonpartisan and threaten your 501c3 status. A lot of the groups aren't even nonprofits around here, so I'm not sure what they're concerned about. So it's time for those groups to get their voices heard, because otherwise there's going to be no discussion in this this campaign cycle about the things that you're most concerned about. How to do that? Now, you can do surveys and send them out to the candidates. You can do 1 to 5 questions and just publish those answers in your newsletter or emails to your group, or post them on Facebook. You can do forums. Those are a lot of fun. You can have an open forum. They're pretty casual. You're maybe throwing 2, 3, 4 questions and then opening it up. You can do debates, which are real wild, but it's a little bit more planning. There's scripted somewhat as far as the questions go. And you've got to have moderators that keep the peace and keep timing and all that stuff. But debates are fun, don't get me wrong. Now, how do you do those? Well, we're all used to doing Zooms. You absolutely can do that. You can publish the answers to your surveys, or any kind of discussion that you have with both candidates in your newsletter. You can post it on Facebook. And what's wrong with looking at voting records? A lot of the candidates that are incumbents have very, 2, 3, 4 years of voting records out there, and there's nothing wrong with looking at those and get a response from them and a response from the candidate running against them as far as how they would vote on those things. And don't forget, you can live stream like crazy on Facebook right now, and it's very easy to do. So I'm just making an appeal to groups and nonprofits. Let's discuss some of the things that you're thinking about, that you want to have discussed in the Valley. It's not too late, and it could be very entertaining. Thank you. What? Most of you that have seen this video are part of an organization that you care a lot about. But you might not be the decision maker. You might not be on the board. You might not be the chair. Share this with that group and see what you can stir up. We need to get some discussion out there about the issues that are important to you and the really big issues that are hitting our valley right now. Thank you. I'm Scott Beilfuss, and I'm inviting you to get involved.